needs a map when you've got a miraculous star in the sky to follow to your destination? In the scene you see here, known as the Adoration of the Magi, 3 wise men from distant lands have followed a star to the town of Bethlehem in Judea to worship the newly born Jesus Christ. In the Christian religion, this infant is the Son of God, whose eventual sacrifice will be the salvation of humankind. So, what is the Adoration of the Magi? As told in the Christian Bible, 3 wise men, or Magi, traveled from their distant homelands in search of the newborn Savior, said to be the promised King of the Jews, whose birth and location were announced to them by the appearance of a star. In this 15th century depiction by the Italian artist Gentile da Fabriano, we see the Magi beginning their journey after seeing the miraculous star. Along the way, they stopped at the palace of Herod, the king of Judea and representative of the Roman Empire in that region. Herod told the Magi to report back to him what they found, feeling threatened by this so-called king. The 3 Magi, known as kings in later traditions, brought Jesus gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh. While not your typical baby gifts, wouldn't diapers be more helpful? They do reflect the special status of Jesus as a sacred king and the Christian savior. Gold is a rich gift, typically associated with important people, like kings, while frankincense was a precious incense or fragrance, often burned to celebrate divinity. Myrrh was used both as a perfume and to anoint kings, but was also used to embalm bodies. For Christians, this was a reminder of Christ's fate to die for humanity. Who exactly are these traveling kings? The Magi's origins are hard to pin down. The Bible only tells us that wise men came from the east. These are not very detailed descriptions. Over time, traditions arose that there were 3 men and that their names were Caspar, Balthazar, and Melchior. And while there is much debate as to where these men came from geographically, by the time Gentile was painting, they were often thought to have each come from a different continent: Europe, Africa, and Asia. That Gentile's audience understood these men as sacred kings from distant lands is reflected in their spectacular clothing and gleaming halos. The fabrics they wear represented the absolute height of luxury. Only the very rich and very important could afford to wear this kind of clothing. The Magi's opulence is also reflected in their extravagant retinue of followers, some of whom wear turbans associated with West Asia. They are also accompanied by fabulous creatures like camels, monkeys, leopards, and lions. Because they represented wealth, wisdom, and power in the service of the Christian God, the Magi became popular subjects in Christian art. Looking at this scene or paying for it to be represented on your behalf could be a way to align yourself with the 3 kings and their model of devotion. At the time Gentile made this painting, the man who paid for it, Paolo Strozzi, was the wealthiest man in the city of Florence. Strozzi's portrait is included among the followers of the Magi, making clear his desire to be associated with these sacred figures. Warned in a dream that Herod intended harm to the infant Jesus Christ, the 3 kings chose an alternate route home, and their story ends with their return to their homelands.